Good evening. When doing evaluation, do I have to evaluate both undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, or I do have to evaluate one? So, Naftali, hopefully I got your name right. Thank you for this question. So, when you are evaluating your transcript, the idea is that if it is a foreign transcript, so if you have your bachelor's or maybe if you have your diploma from Ghana and you're applying to a school that requires transcript evaluation, you have to evaluate all your transcripts. So if you have a diploma, a top up, and even a master's degree, these three qualifications needs to be evaluated. So if you're applying for a PhD, you have master's and then you have a bachelor's from a foreign country. So a typical example, when I had to work on my PhD applications, remember my bachelor's is from Ghana and then my other qualifications are from the US. I had to evaluate only the bachelor's because my other qualifications are from the US. And so there was no need to evaluate the other transcript, only the bachelor's degree. So yes, to answer your question, that's it. Ben, welcome. How you doing?
Fred, thanks for asking. I'm doing very great. And you?
Yeah, I'm okay. So maybe Ben will be going on and off because the sound at the background want to make sure that social media and then the baby Ben is a father. If you don't know, he's an amazing father. So sometimes it happens like that. So today is the final Saturday of the month of August. God has been good. 8 months down. A couple more to go. About 4 months to go. So if you don't know about it, every Saturday is the Steady Abroad podcast. But on the last Saturday of every month, we do the Q&A session where we come on board to respond to all your questions you have about the Steady Abroad process. So you can request and join us live in the studio. I will be responding to your questions. You can also type your questions in the comment section, and then we'll be responding to them as well. Remember, we are live on TikTok, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, or Twitter, and then we are also live on Facebook as well. So Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and then X, as well as TikTok. So I've repeated the X a couple of times. Yeah. All right, Ben, you want to come in?
Yeah, Fred, as you said, I think this year God has been very, very faithful to us. We started with no hope, but gradually we are in August. Next week is September. So we just give thanks to the Most High God. And then specifically, if our audience have been very observant, they could see that this month podcast especially was, I think, almost all our guests were ladies. I think most of them were ladies.
Yeah.
This is an indication that if you're a young lady, it is also possible for you to study abroad,
Yeah.
you know. So the point is that we don't have to think that, oh, maybe study abroad is for a particular group of gender. Anybody at all can study abroad. So please, whether you're a man or a woman, a lady or a gentleman, it's all about you having the desire and the passion to start. And I'm very sure things are going to work for you. Study abroad doesn't discriminate. So that is one point I want to make it clear today. So irrespective of your gender, if and only if you are willing to study abroad, the door is open for you to enter. So it's up to you whether you want to enter it through the door or not. So I think this is what I want to begin with today's podcast.
Yeah, Ben. So in the US, applications for admission and scholarship for 2027 academic year has begun. Talk to us about the UK. Can people start applying to UK universities at the moment for next year, maybe January 2027 and August 2027?
Yes. Yes, I think most of the schools have opened for next year, 2027.
Mhm.
Some of them, they are even ready for January intake. So, UK specifically, the January intake and then the September intake, like they all operate, I think, on the same the density is almost the same. So the schools that prioritize general intake are seriously advertising, and then those who are also into September intake are seriously advertising. So just give a try, check on the school's website. The only difference is that I think right now some programs are not opened. So it could be
Okay.
that, let's say you go to Uni of Derby website, you could see application open for some specific programs at the moment, but some programs not open. I think one university I know for now is Saint 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 John, Saint York. I get confused. Saint York University. I think with their MRES program, they've not opened application for most of their research program, but for the um, taught programs, the postgraduate taught programs, they've opened applications. So these are some of um, the differences. So as it stands now, I know most of the universities have opened for the September 2027 and then January 2027 intake.
Yes, and because these universities are opening for the next academic year intake, that's why we are here to respond to all the questions you have about the process. So if you have a question, you can request to join us live. You can also type it in the comment section on any of the social media platforms on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, X, and we'll be happy to respond to them. We know you want to work on the process. You know, the processes of studying in your home country or the academic system, the education system is a little bit different from, you know, where you want to study. How do you position your document and your application such that it will get you into the countries? Ben studied in India, currently have a master's also from the UK. The Fred has been through the US education system. We'll be happy to respond to all the questions you have about the study abroad process. So type it in the comment section. Let us hear from you. So type the time and the country you are listening to us. So where are you watching us from? Are you in Bole Bamboy? Are you in Sunyani? Where are you in Ghana watching us? Which country are you watching us from? We'd love to hear from other countries as well. So um, the York St. John's University that Ben was talking about, that's what I'm sharing on the screen at the moment. So type your questions in the comment section. We'll be happy to respond to you. So Risk is asking a question on TikTok, and then Risk is saying that I'm currently in level 300. Can I apply? So York, Risk on TikTok, when you have maybe 3 years of academic transcript, or what we call the 6 academic semester transcript, you can start with your application. What most universities will allow you to do is that you can indicate when you intend to, or when your studies will be completed, and understanding that the process works like, you know, a year. So by the time your admissions are in, you might have graduated from your university, being able to get the complete transcript. So yes, you can use the incomplete transcript to apply for admission. By the time you graduate, you get the complete transcript, and then you'll be able to navigate the rest of the process. The challenge is that mostly when people have not graduated, they will not be able to have access to some documents like English proficiency letter, recommendations, and stuff like that. Ben, if somebody is in level 300, can they use their transcript to apply to a university in the UK?
Yes, I would say yes, because some universities in UK are quite flexible. I think the last time I made it clear that even most of the universities, they even go a step ahead of checking your experience to to give you admission. So sometimes they don't even really pay attention to your academic
Right.
qualification. That is, if you have some years of experience, yes.
Okay.
So I would say that just give a try. And now there's no harm in asking. So probably you can just, oh, hello, my name is this. I'm interested in this program. I'm in this level. What is the way forward for me? And I'm sure definitely you are likely to get a feedback. So there's no harm in asking the questions to know whether at your level you can still move with your transcript to come and study. But I know some universities for sure that they don't even look at your transcript. They sometimes with your experience they can even give you admission. So But the only thing is that the English qualification is very, very important in the UK.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
the English qualification is very, very important. So usually, if you are in the WESI, if you're applying with the WESI, at least you should get C6 in your WESI results. And then if you are applying with your SSC, D7 is accepted. If not, you have to get your IELTS with a score of, I think, 6.5 for all the modules like speaking, writing, listening. Yes, all the IELTS components, you need to get at least 6.5 here.
All right, great. So you can send us your questions. So Lover and Ben, if you could be checking the comments and then you highlight the questions, we'll be responding to them.
Okay.
So on TikTok, Lover of the Gospel is saying that please, I have emailed the lectures of for them to supervise me in Canada and USA, but none of them have replied. So Lover of the Gospel, there are a lot of reasons why you may not get a response for your email. First of all, if you ask questions that has already been asked on the university's website, you might not get a response. So I would love to, have the opportunity to review the email that. Okay. Okay. So, Lover of the Gospel, if I'm able to review your email, then I might be able to help out on how to, write your email in such a way that you will get a response. Remember that sometimes if you use a normal traditional email, like you have a Gmail or Yahoo Mail account, most of these professors use professional or institutional email. That is the university that you are writing them to which you are writing to. And then, if it is not within the institution, your email may end up in their spam box. So sometimes they've simply not seen your email. The second thing is that some of them are on maybe sabbatical leave or something, and so they might not see your email as well. So there's a lot of reasons why your email may not get a response. But remember, others are also getting good responses, and some end up getting supervised. So what have you typed? So if you're able to share with me on Instagram, hopefully I'll be able to review and refine it for you, and then we can see how best we can work around it. Ben, let's get going.
Interesting. So this is from Oscar. He wants to know whether it's possible to change schools on AVIS portal after booking a date.
That's a very good question. So if you don't know what the AVIS portal is, AVIS portal, and this is a form of education to everybody listening to us. AVIS portal is currently the portal that is used to schedule a visa appointment. So if you're in Ghana, you've already applied to a school, you've received your I-20, you start the DS-160 application, and then the next portal that you're going to move to in order to schedule an appointment is what we call the AVIS portal. And then, what our brother is asking is that the system allow you to put in your university. So this is how the AVIS portal looks like. So the system allow you to, put in your university and everything. So he's saying that, can you change a school if you complete the AVIS portal? So the answer is a yes and a no. A no if you've already paid the visa application fee and you have a date. So if you want to change it, you need to raise a ticket or email the embassy for them to work on it for you. Alternatively, you need to nullify the current application fee you paid. So remember, the visa application fee is $180. And remember, it can be paid at any GT Bank branch in Ghana, or you can use a MasterCard or Visa card to pay, which the Fed Effect can offer you these services, especially within the weekend where you cannot go to the bank. Send us a message. So when you are able to schedule a date, you cannot change the name of the school that you had already entered. But if you cancel your appointment so that you pay another visa application fee, yes, you can change it. I would advise that in order not to waste your money, what you do is that you would create a new DS-160, use the details of the new school or the new I-20 to complete the DS-160. You are able to raise the ticket in the AVIS portal, and then the embassy will change that for you. Remember, the AVIS portal will still have the old service ID number, the old name of the school and everything. It's not a problem. When you get to the embassy, that's not going to be an issue. A lot of people have been through this challenge and then they were able to get their visas approved. So thank you for asking, Oscar. Ben, if you can move on to the next question.
Yeah. Sir, when you write the SAT and had a score of 920,
Okay. I think. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you write the SAT and had a score of 920, is it possible to get full scholarship to study in the USA as a high school graduate with all the necessary documents?
All right, that's a very good question, and it's good that you've been able to sit for the SAT. If you are new to this whole study abroad process, the SAT stands for it's a common exams, and then it's it's mostly known as the SAT is a college entrance exam, which people sit for in order to apply to schools in the US, and so it's either the SAT or the ACT. Now the overall score of the SAT is 1,600, and I'm going to show you their website. This is how the website of the SAT looks like. So this is the website of the SAT, and you can find it at the College Board website. So this is the SAT website. The cost and everything can also be found here. The next time their registration deadline, everything can be found at the SAT suite. So what our brother is asking is that you need these exams mostly if you want to apply to universities in the US. Not every school makes it compulsory. So if you have 920, it means that it is 920 over 1,600. So this is a good score. However, most of the scores that most universities consider for scholarship will be maybe 1,300 and above. And some universities will tell you specifically the score you need to get before they can consider you for a scholarship. And so I'm going to show you, for example, the University of Alabama website and how much they indicate that you should get if you want them to consider you for a full scholarship. And so this is the website of University of Alabama. You will see that on their website, they have the automatic scholarship. So if you have the SAT to be 1,200 to 1,250, there is a scholarship awarded to you. If you have 1,600, that's where you get the presidential elite scholarship. If you have between 1,420 and 1,600, then you get a 28,000. And then it also comes with its own CGPA. To directly answer your question, it's good you have the SAT. It's good that you have 920. First of all, not every university requires the SAT to give you a full scholarship. And the SAT alone will not give you a full scholarship. You're going to look at your WASSCE results or your high school qualification, as well as your transcript. So listen, if you have a very good transcript without the SAT, you apply to test optional institutions so that you can get a full scholarship. Two, if your WASSCE results are very good, you don't need the SAT, you can apply to test optional colleges or universities, and they'll give you a full scholarship. And to just drop this in here, if you're applying to universities in the US and you want a very good scholarship, target the private universities or the colleges. So mostly the colleges will give you the full scholarship. And you are not looking for full scholarship written on the university's website. Normally, the terminology you see is that they meet 100% of demonstrated need. So you're not going to say that our school is offering a full scholarship. They would rather say that maybe Freddie Flex University meet 100% of demonstrated need. So what it means is that when you finish working on your application, there is another form for the scholarship. We call it the CSS profile or International Student Aid Financial Application. You need to complete that form to demonstrate the scholarship you need. And that is what they give you, the full scholarship. So 920 SAT score is okay. However, you are not going to meet the standard for a lot of universities. And most importantly, your transcript as well as your high school results will be combined. So that one is also as important as the SAT. You may not sit for the SAT or you may not even use the SAT if you are applying to a test optional institution. So if you remember, we interviewed a lady who studied at New York University, and then she wrote the SAT, but she didn't even use it. Her transcript as well as her WASSCE result is what got her the full scholarship to study at New York University. Then let's move on to the next question.
Okay. This one from Mary watching us live from Facebook. Mary, we want to address your question, but it's kind of incomplete. So please, if you would explain what you want to mean we would
Yeah.
love it to answer it for you. Let's take the next one from Gilbert. So this is Gilbert watching us live from YouTube. Gilbert too is, I think, one of the active audience. He's always live with us. So he's saying that if you are a graduate assistantship in the USA university, how many days will you go for lectures and how many days will you do your assistantship, and can graduate assistantship be employed to work on campus, and how are they going to combine? Hey Gilbert, this evening there you've come, Papa.
That's a very good question. I'm glad you're asking. And
Loaded
because
question.
because I've had that's a very good question. Thank you for asking, Gilbert. Shout out to you on YouTube. And you can also let us know where you're watching us from. What is the time at your end? So Gilbert, that's a very good question. So normally a full graduate assistantship is 20 hours. So sometimes you have an opportunity to choose how many hours how many hours you want to work in a day. So a typical example is that if you want to work every day from Monday to Friday, then you can do 4 hours a day. If you decide to do 5 hours a day, you can decide to do 4 days in a week. So some assistantship are flexible such that you choose when you want to work. So you decide your hours. So maybe you sit down with your assistantship supervisor and be able to say that, okay, I want to work maybe 8 hours on Monday and Friday. Then that means that you'll be left with 6 hours. If you are taking 8 hours, will be like 16, and so you're left with 4 hours to work. Maybe on Wednesday you said, I'll do 4 hours, but some people do 4 hours a day, and then they will combine that with classes. Some graduate students have 2 classes in a whole week. Some people attend 3 classes. So you can go for class on, let's say, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you can use Friday and Monday and sometime within the other 3 days to be able to. So you would decide. But there are some assistantship that have some strict requirement that, okay, I need, the supervisor will say that I need you to be working this number of days because that is when I'll be available. So you decide on that. And then normally they will plan your assistantship around your classes. Remember, your classes are fixed. You don't have control over maybe, I'll decide to go for class on this day. So your classes are planned, and then your assistantships will be planned around it so that it gives you the flexibility for you to be attending classes and also be getting the practical experience or maybe the apprenticeship experience of being a graduate teaching assistant, researcher, or graduate assistant. So in my first university, the professor gave me the flexibility to be able to decide when I want to work. In my second university, my professor was sort of, having to come to work in certain days. So I have to be at work at that time. So, and then there are some assistantships too. You have to attend some meetings. So you need to be working at those times. And sometimes you can do like maybe 20 hours a week, all right. But maybe you may be sick. So one week you do 10 hours. And then they will expect you to push those hours into some other time. And there could be like in a whole week, your professor might be flexible such that he's not around. So please don't work at all, but you get paid. So there's flexibility. It depends on who you meet. So that's a good question, Gilbert.
Yeah, I think with the UK, I remember I came across one PhD application, and I think in the requirement, it was stated clearly that you will be working 37 hours per week as whilst taking your PhD. Yeah, so what it means is that one was a paid PhD program. Okay. So what it means is that in the course of the week, you are going to work 37 hours. So you can now, as Fred said, sometimes there's that kind of flexibility. You would maybe decide, maybe based on your schedule, you go, maybe this day you want to work this hour, but sometimes you don't have that flexibility. Everything has been structured, so you have to adapt yourself to meet the system. So these are some of the things that goes on. All right. This one from Chike, watching us live from YouTube and from Nigeria. Chike, thank you for joining us. He's saying that I already have PhD from Nigeria, but I still desire international exposure, given that I am currently in the academics, a lecturer. What do you recommend, please? Should I apply for another master's or PhD? This is a very tough one.
You can apply for a postdoc. So you can apply for a postdoctoral program. So there are some postdoctoral programs that will require that you already have a PhD, and that's why you're applying for that. So you can apply to do a postdoc. So Chiki Godwin, that's another option for you. So check for postgraduate programs, and then you can even apply for jobs, EB2 and IW. All those options are there as well.
Yes, so I think it's a similar thing. I was about to recommend a job. If you check some of the universities' websites, I think one I've seen, University of Derby, I think most of their lecturing works or most of their jobs they advertise, they create room for international applicants to try their luck. So you just have to check some few universities, especially in the UK, and see maybe they are recruiting international applicants, and then you can give it a try because you're already loaded. If not, then as Fred said, we have a lot of postdoctorate programs that are going on, and then postdoctorate fellowships and other stuffs. There are some are even research projects that are ongoing, and then they need PhD students to participate. So I think you can rely on the AI for now to help you get live vacancies for those positions. And these are nice opportunity that with your background, you can easily hop into it. Thank you for your question, Chike. So this one is from Pana, watching us live from Facebook. He's saying that, hello, I'm Teresa from Konongo with BSc Public Health Nursing. Want to pursue Masters in Public Health Nursing in the US. Okay. So what's the question?
So Teresa, you have to make your question clear. Maybe you couldn't type everything, but yes, get your questions coming through. We'll be able to respond to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. From Nigeria on a study in Canada, what are the possible ways one secures scholarship for PhD programs?
Yeah, for most PhD programs, if you're able to tell us your background, that would have been super helpful. So, inspiration, tell us what program you want to study. So, in most cases, you just have to look for a supervisor in the department you want to study, and then write to them if they accept to be your supervisor in Canada specifically. But most programs, you may not even necessarily need a supervisor, and you can directly apply to the program. When you get admitted, then they will give you, they will assign a supervisor to you. So inspiration, what program do you want to apply to? Let us know in the comment section. Let's see if we can pick some questions from TikTok. And then we continue from there. Right. So those are your questions from YouTube, Facebook. Remember, if you're just tuning in, you're live on the Study Abroad podcast. Ben is in the UK, Fred is in the US, and we have a huge team behind us called the Fred Effect team. So the faces you see on the screen, you know, are only two, but there's a huge team behind what we do. And so the shout out to our team members, Sima, Josie, Edna, there is Miss Kafi as well, and then Andrews, there is Aaron, and then there is John. Shout out to John. There is Patrick as well. So there's a huge team behind what we do. So thank you for always subscribing and being part of the team.
Hey, please don't forget Kofi before he has issues with you.
Yeah, he's Emmanuel. So I think I mentioned Emmanuel. Okay, so shout out to Emmanuel. He's the same person as Kofi. All right, the TikTok people who requested are not coming through. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if we can pick another question from your side, Ben.
Okay. This one from Daniel, Facebook, watching us live from Facebook, is saying that what will be your advice when a potential MSc supervisor who reviewed your documents and afterward they asked if you have thoughts of PhD rather than MSc?
Yeah, that would depend on your strength.
I'm sure it could be a UK applicant.
Yeah, so that would depend on your strength, and you think, you know, if you're academically ready for a PhD. Remember that most direct PhD from a bachelor's degree already give you a master's degree in addition to on your way to securing the PhD. So if you take your time to read about normally the PhD will have a handbook. So you go through the department website to read through the department PhD handbook to familiarize yourself with all the prerequisites and what it takes. So if the scholarship will be for the PhD, then why not? Because as you're doing the PhD, you already take courses that gives you a master's degree on your way to getting the PhD.
Okay.
All right, Ben, let's move on to the next one.
This one is from Kwame. Yeah, this is from Kwame Andrew. He's asking, Fred, please, after graduating from your course and the education, is it compulsory or mandatory to work only in educational institutions, or you can work in any area like warehouse or any other field? Thank you.
Yeah, so ideally, what we call the postgraduate work permit in the US, they call it optional practical training, or OPT. So mostly, the idea is that you'll be able to find a work related to what you study. So, for example, I did public administration, and so I had opportunity to work at the governor's office of Arizona, more or less like working at maybe the Flagstaff House of Ghana or something like that. So the idea is that you would be able to find some a work or a practical training related to your field of study. It depends on, as at the time you were applying for the OPT, what the laws and regulations were. But yes, there is that flexibility.
Yeah, and I think the education itself is very broad. So
yes,
when you get your degree in the education field, I think you may be able to work in so many departments, so many areas. So it's just about understanding what you are studying and where your interest is. You might be studying education, but your interest might not necessarily be the entire education program you are studying.
yeah,
It could be that just maybe one section, guidance and counseling section in the education program is where your passion is. So you can focus your attention to this field. So you just have to understand what you are studying and then the possible areas. And I'm sure any university that will mount any program in education may have a lot of career options for you. And I think that is one thing that going forward we can add to our searches, because anytime you go to the website of most of the universities and then you search for any program, sometimes the universities go one step ahead to add some of the career options available for you.
yeah.
So what it means is that as soon as you are done with the program you're studying, all the career options that the university displayed at their website, you are you qualify to apply to any of those careers. So if you understand those areas, it can also help you to position yourself so that as soon as you graduate, you become competitive enough for the job market. So going forward, let's go that one step ahead to understand some of the career prospects that are available for us when we are done with our studies. And I'm sure it will make transitioning from our degree to the job market will be relatively easier than we have ever thought of. All right.
So
Let's pick this one from Janice. Okay.
all right, let's talk to
Fred, you
Amate.
wanna come in?
Yeah, let's talk to Amate on TikTok. Hi, Amate, what's your question?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. My question has to do with funding and then also programs, especially for those who are coming from, let's say, who do your undergrad degree in, let's say, business or sciences, and then you want to move in to do a different, like you want to go into a different field.
Right.
How do you put an application that will be very strong, realizing that you don't have any, like you are not really good, or you've not studied that particular program you want to move into study in the US or UK or Canada. how are you going to put your resources together so strongly that it can help you get a chance for admission and funding? And then also, the next question has to do with, please, can I continue?
Let me answer the first question. I think that's a very good question. And the good thing about graduate application is that you do not necessarily have to apply to only the program you studied at your undergraduate level. And there are some graduate programs that do not even have an undergraduate underpinning. So, for example, there is a program called Masters in Interdisciplinary Studies. There is not a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies. There are lots of graduate programs, they don't have the bachelor's for it. So the fact that you studied, let's say, bachelor's in mathematics do not necessarily mean that you can only apply for a master's or graduate program in mathematics. So back to your question of how do you put in a strong application? One, you need to first of all talk to the department if they will admit you. Let me give you a typical example. When I was applying for my public administration, remember my bachelor's is not in public administration. So what I did was that I emailed the school and told them that this is my background. I'm interested in the public administration background. So 2 questions. Looking at my transcript, do I qualify to be admitted into the program? And 2, will the department give me scholarship? So what they told me was that, yes, you qualify to apply. However, make sure that you have an introduction to calculus or mathematics background, and then also you have microeconomics. So that the concentration of that public administration program I was applying to was such that there were going to be some mathematical courses, and so I needed to have that background. So when I went through my transcript, obviously I did that at the University of Cape Coast. So I told them, yes, I have this introduction course which I did in my bachelor's degree level. I also have a microeconomics background. Then they asked me to go ahead and put in the application. So first of all, you want to make sure that if you have a bachelor's in music and you want to apply for a master's in mathematics, remember, you may sweat even though there is an air condition when they admit you into the program because you don't have a background in any mathematics course. So you first of all have to find out that do the program have some prerequisites that you need to have on your transcript before you qualify to apply. So some people do not get admission because when the admissions committee reviewed your transcript, they have a prerequisite for the program that you don't have. And so you didn't ask them and then you applied. So first of all, please find out, share your transcript with them, share your CV, which they will know your professional qualification before you apply. A typical example, I have a mentee, she wanted to apply to a program in business administration. And they said at Ohio State University, and they asked her that, do you have 3 to 5 years of continuous professional experience? She just graduated from University, K University, and she's a national service personnel. So because they needed 3 to 5 years of professional qualification, they said she shouldn't go ahead and apply. Amati, are you getting my point? Amati, are you there? Good. So once you're able to find out this information, it gives you an idea that, okay, 1, I'll be admitted, and 2, the program has funding for me. But remember, you can divert at any point in time. So you can do bachelor's in music and move to IT, but find out first if the program will admit you. Let me know if you have a follow-up question, Amati.
Okay, so I'm thinking 2 things, 3 things. You have to contact the department and find out, ask these questions. You said, looking at your transcript, would they advise that you put in the application, and then also will the department give you funding, and
yeah,
you take it from there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get that. So then my next question has to do with funding.
Okay.
I applied to Stevens Institute of Technology and then University of Buffalo.
Right.
That was last year. No, it was this year.
Okay.
I actually got admission, but I didn't get funding.
Okay.
I tried reaching out. Yeah, I tried reaching out to both schools to help me to find out if I can get graduate assistantship,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like it was very impossible. So
okay,
the program was
I wouldn't use I wouldn't use impossible. So what you forgot to do was that you should find out about the funding before you apply. The problem, the I think the mistake a lot of people make is that they rather apply, get admission, and later on look for scholarship. So if the department do not have scholarship, it's not because you gain admission and all of a sudden the scholarship was missing. No. If you had already asked about it before applying, you would have known that the department offer a certain percentage of scholarship, maybe 50, 20, 30%, or they don't offer scholarship at all. So my first question to you is that let's take the University of Buffalo. Did you email them and ask about funding before applying? 90 out of 100 is no. Did you?
Yes,
You did initially.
I did. No, it was. Yeah, I think I did initially where I even booked the session with
Mhm.
one student body. I mean, international.
No. Please answer my question.
Asked them, is there
Take your time. Please answer my question. Before applying to the program, did you email them to ask them about one, funding, whether you should go ahead and apply, and if you're admitted, you'll be considered for the funding for the University of Buffalo specifically?
no, please.
That's
I didn't.
so that's it. So you
initially,
so you didn't apply with the funding in mind, and that's the mistake people make. Sometimes you can even visit a university's website and they say that all admitted students are considered for funding. Now there is still a sense in emailing them to understand that are they referring to all students as in domestic students, or they are referring to international applicants as well, because some scholarship or assistance are only for domestic students. So my point is that it was good you got admission. It was good that you've been able to go through the application process. But please apply with the scholarship in mind. So find out first before you apply. So don't finish with the application and later come to find out that the department do not offer funding. So Amati, any other follow up?
okay. So and then my next question has to do with schools in the UK and in Canada as well.
Mhm.
I think my brother wants me to try a school in the UK, Ulster University,
Right.
and then they are requesting that I put in English proficiency.
Mhm.
But then I've checked my WASI results,
Mhm.
and my certificate is also here.
Okay.
But what they are asking, they want me to write the IELTS or something like that.
Mhm.
I want to know, is it possible to just upload my one certificate indicating my English score?
Okay.
And then would that also be fine? Because in the application process, they didn't even provide a place for that certificate to be uploaded.
Okay.
Okay. And then also in the Canada,
Oh no. Let's
put in an application to
Amate, relax. So Ben will answer the question about the English proficiency, right? And what happens is that what I see from talking to you is that you seem to be all over, right? And there's no problem to want to work on different applications to different countries and all that. I would suggest that you take your time to study and understand the application process of one country that you really want to go and do a proper application rather than saying that I want to try this, I want to try that. I don't think this whole process is a try and error process. If you know what you're doing and you narrow down and you are very serious about it, you read, research, and study about what you're doing. It makes it easy putting all your resources in what something that would really work out for you than saying, I want to try this, I want to try this. You become jack of all trades and master of none. But Ben, do you want to answer his question about the English proficiency letter?
Yes, one thing I know for sure is that I think currently the UK government is trying to upgrade the English proficiency requirement. It's like
Right.
it's becoming more stricter. So I'm not really sure whether some universities are trying to kick off the WASI. Maybe unless maybe I try to do more research to find out. Other than that, what I know is that some application portal are such that they will ask for your English proficiency, and sometimes you have to type, like let's say WASI
Yeah.
English CSIS. The point is you need to understand every university at their website would state clearly what meets their English proficiency requirements.
Okay.
So I think, Amate, I'm not sure whether you've really said. So if the university says they are taking C6 for WSC, D7 for SSE, and then IELTS score, let's say 6.0 or 6.5, they will state it clearly at their website. There's no doubt about that. Recently, I know of a friend whose UK visa has been approved, and he didn't write any IELTS. He uses WSC, and he's coming this year. By September, he'll be in the UK. And we didn't use any IELTS. So this one I can speak for sure. We use his WSC certificate throughout the process. So I'm not really sure how the application looks like. If maybe you can take a screenshot and send it to us via our Instagram or YouTube, any of our channel, maybe probably I can have a look and then advise. Other than that, the option has to do it. Go back to the application and to the university's website, check their English language requirement. If there's anything like that, you can still send them email. One thing that you need to understand is that with the UK system, is the university that will confirm whether you meet the English requirement or not before they send your details to the UKVI for your CAS.
Right.
The one that you use to apply for your visa to be approved.
Mm-hmm.
So if the school says you meet the English language requirement, the Home Office where you apply for your visa has no problem with that. So if you are still in doubt, you can alternatively send email to the university, and then you find out from them, and then probably they may be able to answer. So these are the options I may have for you, Amate.
All right. So if you're listening to, if you just tuned in, it's been the Study Abroad podcast with a Fred Effect, and there's a Q&A session. So we are responding to your questions. You want to work on the Study Abroad process. We have been through the process. We've had the opportunity to mentor a lot of people to go through the process. What questions do you have? What clarifications do you need? Which year do you intend to start? Is it this year, next year? What qualifications do you have? Sometimes people, are already, disqualify themselves even before they have the opportunity to try. When it comes to the Study Abroad process, remember, it's not only about your transcript. Universities abroad consider other things in terms of, the overall application package. So don't discourage yourself, yet just get the opportunity to ask questions, for people who have been through the process to be able to respond to you. All right, Ben, let's pick other questions. And then if you want to join us, remember you can type your questions in the comment section. We'll be reading and be responding to them. If you join us live in the studio, it's also possible. You can also just type your question on Facebook, YouTube, X, wherever. It will directly come to our table and we'll respond to them as well. You can request on TikTok. We'll be happy to respond to that. Remember, the Fred Effect team has a collaboration with Argo Visa. Argo Visa is a team of ex-visa officers. We are preparing for any category of visa, whether being an immigrant or immigrant visa. Just schedule a meeting with an ex-visa officer. Remember, we have a lot of videos with ex-visa officers explaining the process and how best they can support you, review your DS-260 or DS-160, prepare you to be very confident before you go for the visa interview. The Fred Effect team has a WhatsApp platform, which for close to 10 years, there is no team that has done this. Close to 10 years, we've been guiding people on our mentorship program. We meet daily to prepare people for the visa interview. Send us a message on any of our social media platforms. We are very quick when it comes to responses, either on X, TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram. Immediately you send us a message, we'll be quickly be able to respond to it. Ben, let's move on to the next question.
All right, so this is from Samuel. He's watching us live from YouTube, and he wants to know how will one know if he's a best fit for a PhD straight from bachelor's, and how do we let supervisors know that we are straight from bachelor's? Yeah, I think he joined the last 2 weeks podcast. Yeah.
Yes, shout out to you, Samuel. This is a very good question. So, best fit for a PhD straight from bachelor. So first of all, you should be able to identify from the university's website if they admit straight from bachelor's to PhD without a master's degree. The program that I am studying for my PhD requires that you have a master's degree. So when the university's website says that you need a master's degree in order to apply, So that means you're not a good fit or a best fit for it. And then the next thing is that to apply directly from a PhD, you need a very strong CGPA. So if your CGPA is very strong, then yes, you are a good fit. But the most important thing is to verify from the university's website among the application requirements that you need a bachelor's degree and only to apply for the PhD program. And if you have a master's degree, it's an addition, or the master's degree is not required. And then having a strong CGPA. So Ben, I think these are the two major ways that one needs to know about.
Fred, thank you for addressing that. Let's hear from Emmanuel. He's saying that, hi TFE, I have had a successful interview with my potential supervisor. After the meeting, she requested that I send her a writing sample. Please, any advice for me and how I can go about it?
Yeah, good. Congratulations on being able to talk to your potential supervisor. So in terms of writing sample, the idea behind it is to know how good of a writer you are. So, graduate studies is all about assignment, writing, in terms of having conversations in class and all that. So they want to know your level of academic writing. So if you have an assignment you completed some time ago, which had some good references, you can send it to her. If you did a thesis project, so if you had a project work or a thesis work for your bachelor's degree, you can also send that. Or you can decide to write a whole new thing about maybe or critique about the research work your supervisor is doing, or on any topic. They just want to know how good of a writer you are when it comes to the skill of writing academically. So that is the indication. So you can either ask your supervisor whether they need your thesis project. They have a specific topic they want you to write about, but that's basically what it is.
All right. Thank you, Fred. Let's look at this from Everything Channel. He's saying that, hello, I'm from Nigeria. I want to know if anyone has gotten visa for the fall 2026 semester to the US. Please help. Everything, we don't really know the help you want, but of course, a lot of people have gotten their visa approved. I think the Fred Effect team this year alone has assisted, I think, close to 300, right, Fred? You've assisted close to 300 for them to get their visa approved. So everything, what help do you need? You can let us know and then we'll be willing to help you out. Fred, I don't know if you want to touch on it. Fred, we can hear you.
Everything is talking about the Nigerian process now, where applicants are not able to schedule an appointment. So everything, be clear on exactly what help you need, just like what Ben said, so that we can address that. So,
all right. Hello, TFE. Can you assist with some schools for masters in business analytics or human resource management that can give full funding? I have applied to university at Buffalo, but I didn't get funding. From
I think
Mate, watching us live YouTube.
Yeah, Mate was the one who joined us via TikTok, and then we responded to his question. So I think Mate is cool now. He joined us via TikTok and he asked the questions.
Oh, okay. Okay, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the mathematics question Collins has brought it up. Collins says that, dear bro Fred, hope you are doing well. Please, I would like to ask if an applicant obtained a GPA of 2.05 in their first degree and GPA of 3.44 in their MSc in financial risk management, would they be eligible for a PhD scholarship?
Colin, that's a good question. Recently, my team assisted a lady who had 2.0 CGPA to get a full scholarship. So yes, it's possible. So now what you have to do is that there are a lot of ways to go about this. Now, your undergraduate CGPA is super important, but what is very important is the final 2 years of your academic qualification. So for people who have third class passed, and think that it's not possible. It's highly possible. Remember that the last 2 transcripts, the last 2 years of your 4 years academic qualification is very important. So you can look at the CGPA for that. Also, if you want to sit for if you want to evaluate your transcript, and Collins, I will highly suggest that you do this. Please evaluate your academic transcript of both the bachelor's and then the master's. It pushes your bachelor's degree transcript CGPA up a little bit. In that case, it positions you in a good way. If your PhD requires that you sit for GRE, it will be a major boost as well. So yes, it's possible. You just, and I always say this, that if you have a pass, there are schools for you and there's a way to go about your application. If you have a first class, there are schools for you. The problem is that sometimes people with pass want to apply to schools meant for first class students. That's the problem, that you have to cut your coat according to your clothes, right? So your academic qualification or what you hold would have to dictate which universities you want to target and how you want to go about your application. Ben, that was a good question. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think this one is a plea from panel Bertius watching us from Facebook. Say that, Mr. Fred, you have done videos on studying at US, Canada, and also inviting people teaching us about other countries like Italy and others. Please, I wish you and Dr. Ben can do video on Study UK for us to. Thank you. This one, the panel, I accept the responsibility and accept the blame. I should have done a bit. The situation and time change, so we are still looking at 1 or 2 options, but definitely there are going to be a lot of videos in the future, so relax, everything will be fine. Fred, do you want to touch on it?
Yeah, I think you've perfectly answered it, so that's absolutely fine. So we'll take some questions on TikTok as well. So remember, some people are joining us on TikTok. We are currently streaming across 5 of the 31st social media platforms. Remember, this is the biggest study abroad content platform. We've done this for close to a decade, and we've been consistent over the years. Obviously, our quality has improved. As you can see, it's all lighting and camera and all that. We started with just a phone, and then when we're recording, people will be calling through, and then I have to be pausing and all that. But we've come a long way. And Richmond, please let us know if your question is ready, and then we'll respond to you. So on TikTok, we are over 200,000 family members. On Facebook, we are over 180,000 family members. On YouTube, which is not easy, we are over 180,000 subscribers on YouTube. Our highest viewed video is about 1.4 million views on YouTube. And you can imagine having 1.4 million views on YouTube on a video. That's not an easy feat to achieve. And on X, we're over 50,000. On Instagram, we're over 30,000. And then so I've mentioned Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And Richmond, you have to unmute your microphone on TikTok so that we can hear you if you want to ask your question. If not, then we have to drop you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead with your question.
Mm-hmm. Good afternoon, good evening.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, God bless you for uplifting humanity and all that you're doing. I've been following for some time now. I'm so much impressed with what you're doing. God so much bless you. I have some brothers who really want to study abroad, and since I started following you, I think this is the best place for them. So I want to know how we can connect to you so that you can help them out.
Yeah, so
that's what I want to know from you, please.
Yeah, and this goes to everybody. I think that's a good question, and the fact that it's not about you. You're not being selfish, trying to lift up your brothers as well. So you ask them to please scan their transcript or take a picture of it and then send it to us on any of our platforms. So it could be on TikTok, it could be on Instagram, Facebook, or even on X. Okay. And then we will respond to them the next step to do.
Okay. And then how do we also book an appointment with you?
Yeah, on any of our on any of our social media platforms, there, if you go to our bio, there is the link. When you click on that, it directly leads you to be able to schedule a one-on-one session.
Okay.
Yeah, I can very well hear you. Okay, I think Richmond is having issues with the connection. So let's talk to Mr. Jeffrey. Hi, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes, I've heard.
Yes, sir. What's your question?
Please, thank you very much, first of all, for the opportunity.
Right.
And God bless you as well. Yeah. Mr. Fred, kindly, I completed my BSc in 2022.
Okay.
In business administration, second class upper.
Okay.
And I've been working since at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority from 2022 when I did my national service. So right afterwards, I was enrolled and I've been working to date. I started my MSc also in corporate governance and strategic leadership.
Okay.
That was last year, November, and I'll be done. Probably this month, I'll be finishing my coursework and examination. So I have a master's degree and I have a BSc degree. Now, I'm also having a good GRE score, but it has always been something that I want to do, that is take MBA and focusing on data analytics. I want to advise on it. Looking at the tensions that is happening now, should in case maybe the injunction fails to be placed, I mean, the court is not able to do what has been raised. Is there any advice that you can give?
No, I think
Someone going to pursue.
I think you have to make your question very clear. So
yes, I want to pursue an MBA.
I get it,
but I have my MSc and I have my undergrad and I have my GRE score.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know your advice as someone who has been in this for a while now. Will I be good to go?
So I think the idea will be, Ben, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, Ben. Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, Fred, I can hear you.
Good. I just want to make sure.
Yes, Fred, I can hear you.
My microphone was messing up. So in the comment section, let me know if my voice is very clear, because I just noticed that. So Jeffrey, you have to understand that you can only control what you can control. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Good. So you don't have to make your application decisions based on information that is yet to happen or has not happened yet. You get it? So if you want to work on application, the first thing is that, do I have what it takes to apply to the school? Now, are the universities admitting? Am I going to get scholarship? Those are the things you need to focus on. So you focus on what you can control at the moment. And because when it comes to changes, since you were born, you've not been a baby, you've been changing. Is that not it? So change is the only constant thing. So it is not ideal that, for example, when recently student visa was reduced to 3 months. I don't know if you heard about it. Like, good. Is it 3 months again now? So imagine somebody had made their decision based on 3-month visa. Good. So if you hold admission, if you hold a scholarship, remember, most of these things you are talking about applies to students who are already in the system. So what you have to focus on is the immediate thing ahead of you. Do I even have my documents ready? Nothing is stopping you from putting your documents together, does it? Nothing is stopping you from putting in an application. Nothing is stopping you from putting in a scholarship application. So if there's something hindering you, that's the case. But something that is way ahead of you, you don't want to make your decisions based on that. You know, Kwame Nkrumah studied abroad, right? Until now, Fred Effect is also talking about studying abroad. So it has been existing for years. You understand? The only thing is that during Kwame Nkrumah's time, they didn't use an email or something. I don't know how Kwame Nkrumah was even able to send a statement of purpose and a document. Maybe he gave it to some bird to fly. So people were in Ghana and then they were applying to schools abroad with post office and it was working. Now you can sit behind your computer and apply to a school. And you said they are going to be, of course, there are going to be changes. You know, and the changes, whether you work on your application or you don't, will happen. So let me give you a typical example. When I was working on my application process in Bole Bamboy, I paid visa application fee less than 1,000 Ghana cedis, which was $160 or so. As I speak to you now, it's 180. But in this August, are people not coming to study? They are. Ben mentioned that we've assisted over 300 people in our WhatsApp group alone this year. And we can't claim to know everybody wanting to study in the US, which means there are more people. Is that not it? And when I was coming, I paid service fee for $200. Now it's $350. So things continue to change. Initially, people could go to any country, like Ghanaians could go to maybe South Africa, Eswatini, maybe Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Burkina for visa interview. Now you have to attend a visa interview in your country. But are people not going for the interview? They are going. Is that not it? So, bro, if you want to work on the process, there are thousands of excuses you can find for yourself and changes and whatever. But if you want to also do it amidst all these changes and everything, you can do it. I love my Nigerian brothers. Do you know that even though at the moment Nigerians cannot go to student visa interview, some of them are still applying to schools because they are very confident that they will reopen it one day, and immediately they open, they will go for the interview too. So even though the visa side is stopping them, they are not being stopped from applying. So basically that is it, my brother. So yeah, Ben, let's pick a different question from another person that was on TikTok. So remember,
I think we have two people joining us on studio, so if we can take them on and then
yes. So let's see. Naftali, I like the name. Is it woman? No, you need to put your video on. Let people see your handsome face. A woman, no, Naftali. Your room is like a green room. Are you a video guy? Do you make videos or what? You're like in a green room. I like your painting. And you're better. Okay, senior Michael.
oh, that's when you know,
Let's look at
Salom is there.
Salom Amenubebe. Did I get the name right?
Yes, Salom Amenubebe, yes.
Amenubebe. Okay, so I like her.
Yeah, my phone there.
Okay.
Yes, so mine is about I want to pursue a master's in Germany. So I want to find out if there's any assistance that you could offer.
Yes. So we have interviewed a lot of our friends who are currently studying in Germany. So when they were on the podcast, they were able to explain the Germany process one step at a time. So if you could kindly check out our video, and I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
If you check on the live session, we've interviewed a lot of people who are currently studying in Germany. And I think the most recent person, let me see if my memory could serve me right then, but I could show it to you. But that's a very good question you're asking. Let's see. Under the live session, if you go to our YouTube, and I'm going to share
2 months ago. 2 months ago, Fred.
Yes. So I don't know who that person was. Let's see.
She was a lady.
Yes. And then she explained the Germany process step by. Is it Ogene? Was it Ogene?
You see,
Yes.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can see the screen all right, but
you can see the screen, right? Oh, can you hear me? Ben,
Yeah,
can you hear
Fred,
me?
it could be from his side because I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So Ogene explained, hopefully I get the name right, the step-by-step process in terms of applying to the universities in Germany. So helping international students navigate and settle in Germany. I don't know when it comes to the study abroad process, I don't know which country we've not done so far. Like we've done almost every country. Italy.
There was another Germany too.
Yes. And that's what I'm searching for. Yes. So there's fully funded Golden Ben Guru.
Yeah.
Yes. She also spoke about the Germany process. So this is Golden Ben Guru on the Germany process. And there is another sister who came through with a Germany process as well. Let me see if I can get hers as well. But yeah, in terms of Germany, we've had a lot of people on who came to explain step-by-step approach in working on how you can study in Germany. Let me see if I can get that one for you. But so far I've shown you two. So check out the two videos. This is Italy. Let's see who came with Germany. Yes. Ask Kukwa. So this was streamed a year ago. Ask Kukwa also explained the study in Germany process. So we've had a lot of people on. We've had quite a lot of people on coming to explain how to study in Germany. So, bro, yes, that would be super helpful to you. Salam, I'm a new baby. I like the name. I like the name. All right, Salam, you have another question for us? Okay, looks like Salam is finding it difficult to hear us. So then we can pick other questions and then move
Okay.
on.
All right. Yeah, so this one is from Kofi saying that I have a bachelor degree in English, psychology, and foundation of education with CGPA of 3.6. I really want to study abroad under fully funded scholarship, master's in curriculum and instruction or educational psychology. Please, could you assist me?
I think
The question will be, what assistance do you need?
Yeah, so I think I shout out to you for watching us on Facebook, and if you're watching us on Facebook, be sure to click on the follow button and be part of the family. So I think based on what you type, you already know what you're doing. I like how you take your time to explain your concentration in terms of English, and the programs you have selected are interesting and they are great. So use Google or AI to be able to figure out universities that have these programs. The next step is that you have to find the HOD of the program, email them, share a copy of your transcript and then resume for them to and ask them whether you can apply and if you be considered for admission, if you be considered for scholarship. When they give you a positive feedback, that's all you need and you're good to go. So I think you're on a good course. And if you need us to review your resume for you, your transcript, or maybe the email you're typing, just send us a message on Instagram. We'll be happy to respond to you. TikTok, Facebook, X, we'll be happy to respond to it as well. If you want to study abroad and you've not messaged us yet, then just say hello on any of our social media. Just come to our inbox. People think that, people are messaging. No, we always respond on our social media platform. Once we send us a message, our team is 100% on standby to respond to you. So send us a message. We can't come here and be telling you how to go about the process. And when you have issues, you send us a message and we pretend we are busy. We are not busy. Send us a message. Our team will get back to you. All right, Ben, let's move on.
Yeah, so Lydia, Fred previous answer answers this one as well. So let AI help you with the search. Then when you are done, if you need assistance for us to review any of your documents, just hit us on any of our platform and we will be willing to assist you through the process. So I think with the basics, try and then work.
Yeah, and Ben, off the top, when you have a background in midwifery, you can do nursing, you can do healthcare administration, you can do gerontology. There's a lot of health-related programs, and like what Ben said, when you're able to use maybe AI or Google, it will be able to give you like 3 or 4 options, and then you can make a decision from there.
Yeah. This is a bit funny question, but of course we have to address it. Is it Asiedu Abdullahi? Okay, Seidu. He's saying that after PhD in USA, can one get job in USA in mathematics?
Mathematics is one.
You see,
Alfred, continue. No, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just I intentionally brought out these questions for us to have a look. So you see, if you send this type of question, let's say in your email to your professor, maybe the response may delay small because you know what you want, but the professor may give some time to understand what you want to mean. So do you mean after studying PhD in mathematics or any PhD at all in US, can you get job in US mathematics? You see, so let's have our time, take time, structure the question well, know what we want. Even after the question, let's breathe over it. Take it again, take it again, take it again. Then after maybe 3rd or 4th review, you can even let some of your friends have a look at your email, especially if you need that response that you are yearning for. And it will save you a lot. And sometimes this is how the brain works. sometimes we don't even mean what we have typed. So in your mind, you know that you have typed what you mean. But anyone who reads this may find it difficult to understand. But of course, we understand the job we are doing, so we know what you are trying to say. But it might not apply to anyone at all. So say today is a free advice. Next time, try and then take your time, understand what you want to send, and you may get people who will be willing to help you based on the question that you are. So, of course, if you studied PhD in mathematics in the US, of course, there's a possibility of getting job in the US that is mathematics related. Fred, I think that is that. We can't hear you, Fred.
Yeah, shout outs to my friend. His name is Prince Apia. He had his master's degree in mathematics from University of Texas. No, in New Mexico State, University of New Mexico, one of them, and then moved to Texas for a PhD. And he's a professor. So he did PhD in mathematics, and he's currently teaching. And so yes, he got a job. So that's it. Okay, so let's see if we can pick more people on TikTok. Let's see. We've done almost an hour and a half, and shout outs to the study abroad community. I like the fact that right now the awareness on studying abroad has increased. People are creating platforms, people are creating content, especially sharing their experiences on how they can do it. Shout outs to Dr. Kofi, shout outs to Dr. Issa, professor, in the United States as well. And also shout outs to Festus Ainu. If you don't know Festus, please follow his account on Facebook, on TikTok. Mostly he gives us the platform to come and respond to people's questions and stuff like that. Shout outs to Aaron Inspires as well. Shout outs to Kingsford Onyina. There's a huge community that is making content and inspiring people to work on their study abroad journey. And obviously, the podcast brings a lot of the people on to come and share their experience and all that. If you're also somebody who is passionate about sharing your experience on the study abroad process, reach out to our team. We'll definitely put you on, and our team is doing a great job of highlighting or putting light on, because we share our platform with everybody. There's no competition in this space. It was funny when the other time I saw somebody saying that, there's no competition. We are all helping ourselves. And the idea is that our brothers and sisters who are working on the process, who, used not to know about the process, will become knowledgeable, enlightened, and then they will be able to work on the process on them by themselves as well. So yeah, we're all doing a great job. Shout outs to all the people creating content when it comes to study abroad process. Amma, can you unmute your microphone and go ahead? Amma is on TikTok, Ben.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Amma.
Yeah, Amma.
My question is, let me show you. I'm currently in the United States, and hopefully maybe I'll be graduating this December. And yesterday I had a meeting with my professor, and he encouraged me to apply for a graduate program because I'm an F1 student due to the current immigration status and that stuff. So yesterday when I got home, I tried to apply for a certain school, that is ECU, which I already did an internship over there this summer.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about something this morning and I met your life. So my question is, since I'll be graduating this December, can I also apply for OPT? I don't know if maybe I won't get admission for the spring.
Yeah, so
if I get if I get admission and I also apply for the OPT because I'm in the STEM, maybe I can get a 3 years OPT. And can I use the 1 year and later stop working and go to school, maybe enroll in my PhD?
That's a very good question. But first of all, what I would suggest is that this is a direct question to your DSO. But since I've also had experience in the process, yes, obviously I'll be happy to respond to it. So yes, you can do the two of them. You can start applying for jobs. Remember that the OPT, there is a number of days that would have to be left on your I-20 before you can be issued an OPT I-20 to apply for OPT. So if you intend to apply for OPT, then it means that you need to start searching for jobs now, and then you can start applying to the universities for the graduate school as well. So that is a good approach, such that you are not putting your eggs in one basket. I think a lot of people make a mistake of limiting themselves to, okay, I want to only apply for school. And when they don't get admission now, they are running back to the OPT. You can do the two of them. So you are not necessarily putting in the OPT application now. You are rather starting to apply for jobs now and applying for the school. Now, when it's getting closer to November, there about where you are eligible to apply for OPT, then you can start putting in the OPT, start the OPT process and still be working on your school. Remember that even if you work like a year, you can stop and continue and go back to school. You don't necessarily have to. Remember, it is optional. So you don't necessarily, somebody can do 1 month of OPT and stop and go and still go back to school. But these are questions, especially with the upcoming changes, that you would want to be in touch with your designated school official to specifically discuss these issues. All right, awesome.
And I have another, that one is not a question.
Right.
I'm just applying the PhD by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I am stuck at somewhere. Can I email you? Or
Yeah.
I used to follow you on my other account.
Yeah, you can obviously send us a message on any of our social media platforms, and then we'll be happy to respond to that. So you have a bachelor's degree. You are doing a bachelor's degree now?
Yeah, I'm a biology major.
Okay, and you want to go into a direct PhD?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's good. Like, you being in the system gives you a good understanding of this, how the system works. So obviously you know that, and some emailing has to be done to be able to be sure whether you can secure the admission and the scholarship. And obviously a biology major, you can go directly into a PhD. If you need to secure a supervisor too, you should be able to email. So don't apply without at least having a conversation with somebody. Yeah, and I think if you have sometimes it's a bit challenging to be in your final year and also to be in your final semester and be putting in applications. I would highly encourage you to also play the numbers game. Once you're able to finalize your CV and then your SOP and your searches, don't limit yourself to 2 or 3 universities. Please put in the numbers game, because sometimes admission denial is not within your control. Like, it's not as if you did something wrong, but put in as many as you can, if you can afford to. All right. So people in the States are coming for Akwantere, which means if you are in Bolevan boy, you should be coming for Akwantere, because I dream back for trim at any point in time. You will definitely need somebody's at least thoughts or ideas on something you're working on. So shout outs to Amma for coming on to ask her question. Ben, any other questions, because we have to be wrapping up very soon?
Yeah, I think let's try and then attend 5 more questions. We have a lot of them, but we will try to pick 5 and then we will push the rest to next month.
Okay.
So let's see, Adebayo. I think that Fred, there are some videos we have to. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We have to keep posting those videos, and it may address some of the concerns of our audience. So Adebayo wants to know if he can get funding for master's degree. He already have a BSc in computer science from Nigeria, which of course I think you have explained. Yes, you've explained the 5 ways
you can use. So the simple answer is yes. So the simple answer to your question is, Adebayo, yes, you can get it.
Yeah, you can. So we have a lot of videos, so try and then have a look at some of. We've addressed most of these issues already, so try and then have a look. And I think with the HND students too, we've said a lot about the HND as well. So I don't know if we can create I don't know how we're gonna do it, but maybe we can take 1 month and be posting stuff on the HND, and it will say that. The fear is that sometimes with HND you think at the start you think it's not possible.
Yeah.
So I think that's why most of the HND students are getting back to us, or probably we have to get those the HND people to be on the podcast as well, and then probably their experience would really be of great help to our followers. So Nana, don't worry about the HND. I think the last time Fred was saying that if you have done, I think, Fred, how many credits is it? 120?
Yeah, 120, and I think Apalu even have a diploma and a bachelor, so he has the HND and he has a top up. So that means that with your CGPA, you just need to evaluate the transcript, and yes, you'll be able to apply. So Apalu, send us your transcript on Instagram, and let's see how best we can support you from there.
Okay, great.
I like the name, Apalu.
Yeah. This is from Jason watching us from Facebook. He's saying that, hi TF, I recently cold emailed one of the schools in California for PhD and asked him to meet him virtually, and I did last week. And after the conversation, it was positive and ready to pick up. All I have to do is to try and apply early and then email him that I have submitted. I would be glad if I can get any assistance in the write-up, especially the SOP. I am currently at NASA and I will finish school in this coming Monday.
Yeah, send us a message. Send us a message on Instagram. We'll be happy to assist you. So it's either you write something and then send us to us for us to review, or we can meet up and show you how you can go about in terms of the writing. So yeah, we'll be happy to assist. And Jason, congrats on being in Kent University and now still working on applying for a PhD. That's a good one. All right, so that is Jason Haifa.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at Ness from YouTube. He's saying that I understand there have been some recent changes to the F1 rules. What are the key changes students should be aware of, and how might they affect international students studying in the US?
So Ness, there has not been any changes. Rather, there are some proposed, changes. Now it's supposed to happen on September 15th. Today is August 29th. We have to wait until September 15th to know if it will be happening. And mostly what the Fred effect does is that when, there's any changes, I explain to it in a more positive manner rather than saying things that will scare people and all that. There's always a positive way on approaching things. So, unless as and when the new changes are announced, I'll take my time and bring the positive perspective that it comes with, and not to see things that will scare people. So, next, there has not been any changes. When the changes are done on 15th, we have to wait on 15th. Until then, there's no changes to be afraid of. Go ahead and apply to your schools. Go ahead and apply to the scholarships. Be positive, everything will be fine.
Okay. Jeff also wants an advice, and of course, as I said, okay, no worry, let's see how we can best help him. And with MSc degree in corporate governance and a good GRE score, what advice will you give me in my pursuit of securing a fully funded scholarship in a B school MBA program?
In a business school, or what does the B school mean? Like grade B school or business school MBA program? If you have a GRE, MBA is super easy to get into, but you said you don't have a bachelor's degree in business administration, but corporate governance. What it means is that you should be able to send your transcript and CV to the university you want to apply to. So Ohio State University, for example, has a good MBA program, which has a good scholarship, and they require the GRE, obviously. So before you apply, try to email them and share your credentials with them and ask if you can go ahead and apply. So Jeff, good to hear from you from YouTube.
Okay. Maybe this may be our last but one. There are a lot of questions in the comment box, but sake of time, I'm not sure we'll be able to touch on all of them. Or Fred, we should sacrifice. What do you think?
We've done 1 hour 30 minutes. I'm tired already. So yeah, we are wrapping up. So this will be our last question we answer.
Please, I've been able to reach out to some potential supervisors. A few of them have agreed to schedule Zoom meeting with me, while others have asked me to send them my PhD research proposal and also contact the school's admission team. I would really appreciate your help in preparing for these meetings, especially with the kind of questions I may be asked and how best to present my research interest and background. I would also be grateful if you could review my PhD research proposal.
Yeah, just send us a message on our Instagram handle. I'll be happy to assist you from there. Yeah, Elijah. So just send us a message on Instagram.
Yeah,
and that's
fine.
all right. So it's been a great section.
Yeah.
Remember,
so far so good. Yeah.
Yeah, we streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, as well. So every week will come your way 5:30. Mark your calendars and put it down. If you want to study abroad, try to learn about the process. At least know the country you want to apply to. What kind of scholarship? What kind of student are you? Are you somebody with a first class, second class, upper, lower, or third class? Learn about the process. Which country do you want to study? Canada, Germany, Italy, US, or whichever country, Japan. Learn about the process. And what we do here is very simple. We have been through the process, so we share our ideas and knowledge about the process. We cannot pretend to be an expert in this field, but at least somebody should share something, and it can be improved on at any point in time. And also link up with people for help. Our doors are 100% open 247. Send us a message on any of our social media platforms. We'll be happy to help. And if you want to make any payment concerning the study abroad process, whether service fee payment, visa application fee payment, enrollment deposit payment, send us a message on any of our social media platforms. We'll be happy to guide you to make the payment as well. Ben, we are wrapping up. Any final words?
Yeah, I think there's a kind of good news in the UK system. I think at the moment some universities are such that you can apply for Prodigy Finance and you'll be able to get access into the university. So I think today I had a personal interaction with one guy who was able to come to study in the UK on a student loan through the Prodigy Finance. So those of us who have started the UK process, I think we can try and then try those options, especially those of us who don't have the funds at the moment to kickstart the process. So what they do is that you send your all your documents to them, and then they will be paying your fees directly to the university. So that is one new change I've seen it is coming. So of course, if people are able to study on loan in the US, then it means that there's that kind of possibility of you also studying on loan in the UK. So don't let finance hinder your dream. Try the Prodigy Finance and let's see how it goes.
And let's understand that, mostly people just straight away jump into, criticizing a move. Right? Understand? So when somebody says that, oh, it's not good to study on a loan, listen, everybody would want a scholarship. Everybody would want to get admission and a full scholarship. So when, the loan become the last resort for people and they are willing to use it, it's absolutely fine. If you are not going to do it, don't always speak negative about the steps that other people are taking. Sometimes, there are different routes that will lead people to the same destination. So I have seen people being able to go through the entire process with maybe an Empower loan or a different kind of loan. When they get into the system, they get a scholarship that will take over so that they use the loan to get in the system, but they are not using the loan in the first place, right? Sometimes getting a bank statement is a bit challenging for people. So if you have any other means of financial support to walk you through the process, then you do it. So people shouldn't just jump into conclusion that, oh, no, it's not good to go and take a loan. If you were you, would you take a loan? Of course, if people are getting the scholarship, we are encouraged for that. But when another alternative is going to work for somebody, we all don't have to use the same route. So Ben, thank you for that information. It's been a great session. The name has been The Fred Effect. This is the biggest study abroad content platform. We are over 200,000. So together, our platforms are close to 1 million on our various platforms. Over 180,000 on YouTube, over 200,000 on TikTok, We have on Facebook is over 180,000, and then on TikTok is on X is over 50,000, on Instagram is over 30,000. This is the biggest study abroad content platform. We've been positively inspiring people to work on this process. You know, having the opportunity to be educated in a different in another country is a whole experience. Not only the academics, the relationship you're able to create. Yesterday I was thinking about something. I saw the king of Asante, Otiko Koso, you know, with the son, you know, I think they were golfing in the US. Remember, the son is schooling in a US institution. Your mother sells you know, tomatoes at the market. You might not be able to be in the same school with Otumfuo's son in Ghana, but when you study abroad, you might end up being in the same classroom with the son of Otumfuo. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense to you.
It makes sense. Yeah,
you know,
sense.
you have opportunity to be able to connect with some people. Sometimes the friends that you are going to make in school, the connections you're going to have is through the education. And so if you have an opportunity to study in a prestigious institution, apart from getting the academic qualification, the friendship, the relationship, the connections, the human connections you're able to create. Like I said, if Otumfuo's son is studying in the US and you also happen to be in the same classroom, he will be your friend because you're from Ghana. But maybe if in Ghana, you will not be able to connect with Otumfuo's son like that. You know, so it's been a great session. Ben, thank you so much. And please be positive, understand that everything will be fine. We come your way next week with another inspiring episode of the Study Abroad podcast. Take care of yourself. Bye.